Fuck my
You
life.
have time. You have time.
Yeah.
So we are now live.
Hello, everybody.
Hi. Hi folks. Good to see you. Good to see you. Uh it's a new day. It's a new time to record a podcast.
Oh
Obviously we
yeah.
haven't started yet. This is the pre-show where we get to say hi to everybody and stuff like that. So hi. I
Cool.
wanted to
Yeah.
I wanted to drop some hot goss on Alex before we started here.
I love
Um,
hot goss. Hit me.
yeah. So just a reminder to everybody out there to be a good person, please. Um, so there's a streamer, not gonna name drop here, but essentially they went out and bought 100 Happy Meals from a local McDonald's or their local McDonald's. I think he had to split it up into like 20 and 80. And so he like drives up to the drive-thru. He's like vlogging the whole thing, so everybody has the entire story. And it's like it's not that in depth. It's no conspiracy. It's just like yeah, this is just what he did. He went over to a drive-thru, was like, "Hey, I want 100 Happy Meals, please. No food, just the boxes and the Pokemon cards that come with them, because there's a promotional event for Pokemon's 25th anniversary."
Oh, jeez.
So after talks with the manager's like, fine, sure, whatever, I guess. So he comes back with like 100 Happy Meals, and he's opening up all these card packs, and like they're like 7 or so promotional cards that you can get either holographic or not holographic. So obviously he got everything that he like everything in the
I
set.
would be I would be real sad if I didn't after that, but
Yeah,
yeah.
if you do all that and not get your promotional Pikachu, that's sadness right there. Um, but anyway, so the comments of that video that he put out, they are just they're going hard. People were like, "Why are you, taking these things out of circulation for the kids? Why are you like this is not meant to be like get 5 or something. 100 is a little excessive."
Yeah.
Um, so anyway, just reading the tweets about it on Twitter now is just like, oh no, this guy's
Is
he
he
did an
okay? I
oopsie.
mean, I feel like, if you want to do that, you paid for it. Like what's the harm?
What's the harm is then you have like legit kids who go up to the McDonald's and they're like, oh man, I want to get a Happy Meal because it comes with Pokemon cards, and I love
Yeah.
Pokemon cards right now because everybody loves Pokemon cards right now. So you go up to the counter, you're like, I'd like a Happy Meal, please, and they're like, sorry, we're sold out.
Yeah, I guess it's similar to scalping,
Yeah, oh
right?
definitely.
Everyone hates a scalper.
Yeah,
Nobody likes a scalper.
but it's like you're scalping a thing expressly designed for children more so than like the trading card game already is. Like not only are you taking the Pokemon cards, which, I have my own problems with that, how people are like really, really upping the price of Pokemon cards just through popularity alone. It's making it impossible for kids or parents to justify getting them for their kids. Um, but now they're getting it from a Happy Meal, which is actually designed for kids.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I definitely see your point. I guess I'm looking at it from like a collector's point of view, like that's easy pickings.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. Um, Big sadness to anybody out there who is super into Doge. Sorry about that. That's went and dropped quite a bit. But hey, we move.
I mean, it's gonna be up and down, right?
Yeah,
And
exactly. Exactly.
in if you look at the long run, it looks like it's up. So,
We're
I mean,
way up. Yeah, exactly.
yeah, like you're gonna get that, but total
Just gonna take
and
time because Elon is all like, "Oh man, Doge is great," and then goes and puts 1.5 billion money
not
into
it's just a
Bitcoin.
small amount of money.
It's
It's
a
not, hey,
small loan
the
of
crazy part about it is that it's not even Elon, it's Tesla.
no,
Tesla
that's true.
bought, yeah, like that's just crazy.
Yeah, they put like a little bit of their cash reserves into Bitcoin, and they're like, "All right, we're gonna start taking Bitcoin now." which like
Yeah.
they're in a very unique position to be able to do that because anybody else, like everyone's waiting on like Apple to go and do that, but like that has to pass through so many channels of like HR and whatever.
Not
Like
gonna
Tesla
happen.
is startup-y enough to just be like, hey, yeah, we're gonna do something and it's coming from the top and it's just gonna happen. But like there's so much like legal ramifications that come with that. Like it's gonna be a while until even Tesla like actually accepts it. They're
Yeah.
just kind of talking about it and they're gonna make it work because startups have the ability to do that.
I mean, I think it's an interesting thing to do. There's like businesses make money in all kinds of ways. Revenue
Mm,
comes from, all kinds of things that you wouldn't think of. And if you think that hey, if Bitcoin goes up and, that could make more money than the rest of Tesla.
yeah. No, I mean you're
So
not wrong. Exactly. Okay.
some crazy stuff. Yeah,
Yeah. So let's do a podcast. Time right now
sure.
is 9:34, so we're gonna want to go until about 10:15, close to 10:30. Sweet.
I'm in.
Yours. You know what? You know what's weird? I don't even know what episode this is anymore. I think we've done away with like episode numbers a long time
Episode
ago.
numbers. Yeah, like we're not really doing episode numbers, but this is our second sort of best of two here. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess so. Okay,
Oh,
here we go.
forget the episode numbers, man.
Take a little sip of my coffee.
Life is a story. Time to tell
Library.
it.
Yeah. I wish this had like some witty one-liner or something on the bottom. Like life is a story and yours is over. This one's just like a cheesy make yours a bestseller. Anyway,
Huh?
here we go.
All right.
Hello and welcome to Best of Three, an esports podcast by Organized Gaming. I'm Mike, and as always, I'm joined by the crispy Kiminator himself, Alex Kim. How you doing?
I'm a baconator.
Yo, legit though, son of Wendy's. What up, son of Baconator? Just
Yeah, it's
because the
oof.
Baconator's a lot.
Honestly, it's a lot. Once in a while. Let's
Yeah,
go with once in a while. I can't eat that on a regular basis.
I could mess up a son of Baconator like almost every other day, but a Baconator that's like I haven't filled my 2021 quota yet, but it's once I have one of those, it's like all right, we're done.
My bacon consumption, I gotta say, has tanked
Has it
dramatically.
really?
Yeah, it's a little unfortunate, but also good for the health.
I mean,
But
yeah.
yeah.
I'm trying to find new and innovative ways of cooking with bacon, and it's not doing it for me. I need to just fry up some bacon, toss it on a plate. That's the ideal way of consuming bacon.
Oh yeah, for sure. You're like completely on the opposite tip of me. Like, just I'm gonna eat more bacon and
Yes,
find ways to eat more of it.
I need to
Yeah.
find more ways to consume more bacon. Exactly. Did you know? I promise, folks, we're going to start the podcast very, very soon. Did you know that I haven't actually tried this yet, but I have seen that you can take an egg and drop it in a bowl and it'll just crack. You don't have to actually like crack an egg using like a fork or a spoon or the actual like side of the bowl or whatever. You can just straight up hold it up, drop it, it'll break, and you pick it up.
You're talking no shells,
No
no.
shells.
There's no way, man.
I I promise you, I will try this before next
Oh God.
episode
Okay.
and I
Yeah.
will let you know.
Okay. Myth bust that for me,
Because I just
please.
heard this today and I was like, no,
Well, because I'm
no.
gonna start doing that then. Why wouldn't I?
That's the thing.
Drop it on the pan, pick up the shell, and you're good to go.
When
Will
you
it break the yolk?
I don't know. When you get like eggshell in your egg, is that user error? That is my question. Is that 100% user error? Is it because I cracked it too hard and I put shell in there? Am I doing this inefficiently? These are the questions.
Okay. 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 I need to know, Mike.
Yeah,
Let us know next week.
I absolutely will. So, this is an esports podcast. And
Yeah.
in said esports podcast, we talk about things in esports. Now, Alex, you are That's not true. I was about to say that Alex is more in the esports scene daily than I am, which is absolutely true. But I have quite a large stake in esports through the things that I do as well. But Alex, you very close with Waves Gaming. You are the owner of Organized Gaming. I want to kind of check in with you, see how everything's going
Oh
with the
man.
things that you're doing.
It's hectic. A lot of stuff. A lot of stuff's happening. I mean, I guess first thing today.
Mm-hmm.
Today was the official launch of the founders line for the Parabellum Esports,
Oh,
right?
cool.
Yeah. So we got a sweater, we got a t-shirt, and we have a beanie or a toque, as we call it in Canada.
I'm actually like loving. I'm living for that logo right now. That is
Oh, you
dope.
haven't seen you haven't seen the back. I mean, should I show the
Do
back?
it.
Is this
Do
a
it.
thing? Like
Give me a
it's
spin. Let's see.
ah, all
I'll
right.
describe it for our listeners at home. Oh no, that is dope. That's
Could
incredible.
you see that? Could you
What's
see
the
that?
what's the like neon design? So we've got the Parabellum logo there, and then underneath that, it's kind of like a teal-ish. It looks like flowers.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's like a floral-ish design.
yeah,
Yeah,
I'm into
yeah.
that. I'm into that. You got to send me that right after that. I will be 100% be buying that.
Yeah, done by the very, very talented Drew Face from Incendium.
You know, I
So
was gonna say that looks kind of like a Drew face design.
it is
That's
because
so
he has
cool.
a signature. He has like a
He's
signature
got a
look, and
style. He's
yeah,
got a
he's
style.
definitely got a style.
Yeah, yeah,
Definitely got a
yeah.
style.
So you've launched
Yeah.
that. That's the three apparel items. What else kind of goes behind the launch of the brand?
So, well, the brand launched recently, so that's something that everybody sort of knows about. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we just actually got the apparel onto our website, so you can find it in our shop at organizedgaming.co.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you can actually see the collection there. It's the Founders Collection. Once these are sold out, we will never make them again.
Oh, I
So
love that kind of
it's
thing.
yes, of course. We gotta have the exclusivity, but um, honestly, it's just we creating designs.
Yeah.
It's easier to sort of be like, hey, let's make this many, and we think we can sell this many. Let's make, this amount, and then once they're gone, we can make some more.
Mm-hmm.
Keeps it fresh, and also, we don't have to. It gives us a little bit more customization and flexibility in what we're able to do and what we're able to create
Sure.
if we make it in batches.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so sort of on demand type stuff or drop ship stuff. It's something that we've played with in the past and just like never really loved it. So
I
yeah,
agree with that. Like I have on my own store. It's all done via drop shipping, and there's just the items that I do have that are inventory only. I love the amount of control that I have over that. I love the amount of like I can see, I can feel how much inventory I have left. And every time I send one piece of it away, I feel good about it because I know that that is, a transaction
right.
versus like when somebody else buys something that somebody else is going to make and ship, and I'm never going to see any part of that. That's like I'm not seeing that transaction happen, and anything could happen on their end too, because they don't like. I don't want to say that they don't care about what happens when they're sending it to their people. It's still going to reflect badly on them if it doesn't. But
Right.
like you don't know. You don't know
You
unless you like
don't know.
really, really, really know the person that you're selling with.
And
Um,
another huge issue that we ran into as well was just getting samples of the clothing and everything like
oh
that.
yeah.
Just yeah, and in terms of marketing, even just putting putting out a drop, and if you don't have the clothing in hand, pictures with models and all of this stuff, it's just gets a lot harder to market just based on graphics and sort of mock-ups, right?
Right. So I'm
Yeah.
I'm looking at the site right now. It looks like you were the model for
Yeah.
the sweater there.
I gotta, yeah, it seems like I'm a jack of all trades here. I'm just becoming everything, but
You know what?
um
It looks good. It looks good.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you. I appreciate that.
And
Yeah.
then the other model that you use for the T-shirt, who would that
Yes,
be?
Rachel. That is Rachel, our marketing
Oh,
specialist,
that's
who you
Rachel.
actually haven't, yeah, met in person, so you
Mm-mm.
don't know her face.
No,
Yeah.
COVID has yeah has done that for me.
Yes. But yeah, she's been great. She's been killing it, and also, making her appearance in Esports Unfiltered. So
Mm-hmm.
co-hosting with Ben, and yeah, also doing some modeling, I guess, right?
There you go, jack of all trades. You're turning everybody into. Well, that's the thing with startups. Like you wear a lot of hats, and you're going to see a
Most
lot of
definitely.
that in esports. You know, most of the major orgs. Um, yeah, I mean, a lot of them have some kind of like corporate structure behind them, but a lot of them how they operate are as a startup. So
Yeah, it's I mean, yeah, it's fun. It has its
ups and
upsides and it
downs.
has
Yeah,
its downsides. Yeah, like you're always going to get something new. Every day looks different, so it's exciting, but
facts,
it's yeah, you gotta move quick.
facts,
Yeah,
absolutely. So
and
tell me more about Parabellum.
Parabellum. Oh
Yeah.
man. Honestly, that I've shared what I could share about it, and I think if we want to talk more about Parabellum, maybe we invite a certain llama to our show to speak more on it. But
What's that I hear in the distance? Yes, absolutely. We need to bring Llama on. Yeah.
so we can, because yeah, there's a lot of exciting stuff going and some stuff that we can't yet talk about. So maybe in a
Ah.
little bit. So yeah, I know a
Okay.
lot of
So for now,
those.
we keep it apparel only, but
Yeah.
I mean that in and of itself is just, ooh, so good, so good. Hold on, let me just finish adding that to my cart. There we go. Okay,
You're
very good.
purchasing it right now.
Excuse me, I'm shopping on this podcast. You must forgive me.
Oh, you're forgiven.
Thank you.
It's cool. It's cool.
Cool, cool. All right. So, what else is going on with OG?
Yeah, Seagate Gaming Academy actually
Oh,
launched this week as well. That launched yesterday. So that's something our Northern Shield Academy is powering. It's working, teaming up with Seagate to deliver a gaming academy in Rocket League, Valorant, and Fortnite.
all right.
That's going to be, yeah, super exciting. That's starting in 2 or 3 weeks. It's coming up. So yeah.
Okay. And then when that drops, who can we bring on to chat about that?
Oh, oh. Actually, if we want to chat more about that, we may be able to bring someone from Seagate, but
Let's do that.
yeah.
There we go. Call him up. Get him on the horn.
Yeah, so yeah, that's definitely something we can do in the future. But
Mm-hmm.
just talking about what it is right now, it's we've created sort of we've worked with some coaches and stuff, and we talked about a little bit about what we were doing in, I want to say, sort of the pilot season of the Waves Gaming Academy last season. So it's sort of in addition to that, and Seagate has sort of come on, and we're partnering with them to deliver it.
Mm-hmm.
It's We've created sort of like a program. I want to say it's like a leaderboard of sorts where every week you do your sort of homework assignments.
All right.
You get to, yeah, you get your homework assignments, you get to complete that. You get to do any of the quests or any additional sort of extracurriculars on there, and it earns you points as you learn. And whoever wins, it gets prizes, really. I mean, there's prizes for like MVP and like all kinds of stuff, but honestly, the sponsors coming on are super crazy. MSI, Corsair, like
Whoa.
AMD, like, Canada Computers, like all kinds of stuff. There's $20,000 worth of prizing.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you can win a fully built PC.
Oh,
So
okay.
yes, there's a lot of stuff to win. We got like motherboards, we got hard drives, we got like all kinds of stuff.
Huh.
Just like gaming chairs, like all kinds of swag. It's pretty crazy.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Um,
I'm
yeah,
I'm
and
super excited to talk more about that. I want to hear from the Seagate people as well. Just like what, like maybe you can speak to any of this. What went into putting together like a curriculum like that?
So, and we bring up Llama again, but
Ah,
Llama's been huge on the curriculum side. He developed actually all of it in tandem with actually some of his players and some of the other sort of um, I want to say affiliates that we have, sort of our
okay.
friends. Yeah, so we got Koslix on talking about content creation. We have Lemon Puppy from the Parabellum Rocket League team teaming up to create Rocket League stuff, and then we have some other people that I can't name yet. So
I saw you go through like
yes.
X amount of people in your head there, just like this Rolodex, and you're just like, can't.
Yeah. It's a tough part about working with, all of these sort of partners and brands
Yeah,
and stuff. There's things that you can share at certain times. There's stuff that's not maybe finalized completely yet,
right.
or we're waiting to announce or anything like that. So, yeah.
Mm. But I mean, it's cool to at least like hear that there are major names backing this, and that although
Oh,
you
yeah.
can't speak to all of those, it's like we're doing a thing. There is this and that kind of person behind it, and it's going to be really sick once it actually drops. It does give a little bit more context, so I'm happy to hear that. That's great.
Yeah. And I think the really cool part about this is that it is a lot more, I want to say like interactive.
Mm-hmm.
We really saw some of the other academies and stuff that were out there, and ultimately they're just video programs where you watch the videos and then you just, like practice what they teach, and then maybe you'll do better, maybe you won't if you have the motivation, you know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
So I think like the cool part about this, like, we're everyone's in quarantine, stuck at home, so like we can get together, we can interact with each other and go through sort of the program, and the coaches are around, we have staff around, and we're sort of building this community of learning and
Mm-hmm.
getting better at these games. So
Well, I
yeah,
mean, it's interesting too because now that we're again almost a year into this new lifestyle that we've all been forced to take, um, I feel like there's a big culture shift from okay, let's try to survive to okay, let's try to move forward. So a lot of people are going for coaching now in, you know, in their respective game. I'm seeing tons more content creators, popping up here and there about, you know, I do coaching, I stream coaching, and I put that to YouTube. Legit, every morning I am watching this one guy coach a different person in League of Legends, and I'm just like, this is great. Like I've been here for so long. I want to learn how to up my game. I want to be a better player. I want to, be a little bit more competitive. Um, so I mean, that's what 2021 I think is going to be like for a lot of people. Is if we're still going to be at home, let's at least learn something while we're here. A lot of people are going back to school. A lot of people are going for coaching. A lot of people are going to go for this academy. I think that's really cool.
and I think like there's a difference between I can play Dota or whatever my game is,
Yeah,
Apex Legends right now, but I can play for hours. I can play for months. I can play for a year and not get any better. Like you gotta be mindful about your growth. You
yeah.
gotta do things to actually get better instead of just playing, because that won't actually improve you. So
100%. Anybody who is out there right now who thinks that like I am just getting better by practicing, try to like look up a YouTube video or a podcast showing you some extra things that you can do to get to the next level. I guarantee you that you're going to go back into it and you're going to be like, well, I'm a lot more confident in this game right now. Like I have never been more confident in my jungling ability in League of Legends. I've never been more confident in my team building ability in Pokemon, because those are the two things that I'm focusing on right now. And then Hearthstone is always like somewhere in the back, just like, ah, you remember me? Come on back. This is a fun game. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I'll be back.
the
I
other
know I
day
will.
I booted up Artifact just to see what was going on.
Oh no. Oh no.
So
Tell me about
yeah,
that
I mean,
experience.
oh, it's gone through some changes and stuff. I by no means hopped into a game. I just wanted to see. I was just like, hey, like, let's see what's going on. I checked it out. Like it looks I think it looked great in the first place, so I
Mm-hmm.
really love their branding and everything. But yeah, it's there. I don't know really if anyone's playing, and I did not actually play the game, so I'm
Right,
sorry. I don't
right.
have a great update for you there, but
No, that's fine. That's hilarious though. I totally forget. I forget about Artifact every time that nobody mentions it for a little while, and I think that's kind of the same thing for everybody. But yeah, that's cool to hear. So
oh man.
let's before we go for a break, let's talk a little bit about Made in Esports.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
so the
As
organized gaming YouTube channel is now Made in Esports, and I want to know your thoughts behind that. How did that happen? What does that mean?
all right. Um, so how did it happen? I guess organized gaming, for those that may know, we started in 2015 as a tournament, an online Dota tournament organizer.
Mm-hmm.
So we had a league that we ran for 2 seasons, and we called ourselves Organized Gaming. We're like, oh, great. We're an organized league. It makes sense. All of this stuff, and I think after the second season, we were like, hey, we'd really love to do this in person.
Yeah.
So we sort of moved to the local community and to doing LANs and in-person events and stuff like that. And from there we were like, hey, like no one knows that this exists. We're all here experiencing it, but maybe we should make some videos to like show people what's going on. And so we got into media, and then we were like, okay, so all of this is here. We have the events, we have the media, but it doesn't necessarily make money.
Mm-hmm.
How do you make money? And we are like, hey, maybe we'll try merch.
Mm-hmm.
And then merch is definitely a revenue stream, right? So I think we just went through all of these sort of like little pivots, and then ended up with a name, and we actually did a logo refresh as well, because our original logo was a trophy.
Right.
And we were like, hey, we're moving to the sort of media and apparel, we need an updated logo, so we ran a contest for that. And that was really cool. I think yeah, we gave away $700 to the designer, so
Mm-hmm.
that was really cool. But yeah, and then I think we sort of got to the point again where we were like, a logo change is not enough, where the name doesn't really make sense anymore. We're diving heavily into content now. We're looking at licensing content as well. So for those
Right.
of you out there who want to start getting paid for your content, and you're sort of build working up to that, like we can definitely help you. So shoot us a message or
Mm-hmm.
whatever it is. Yeah, it's just the name organized gaming didn't really make sense anymore.
I guess so. Like it doesn't
Yeah.
really fit what you're trying to do there. Okay.
Yeah.
And so Made in Esports is where you landed from there. How did that come to
Oh,
be
we were
there?
just brainstorming names, and I was like, like it's important to be authentic in esports, so we want to make sure that it's a name that, makes sense, but also it should say esports in the name, just so it's very clear what kind of content we produce.
Right. True.
So,
True.
sort of working with that, we went through a bunch of sort of ones that you would think of, like esports lobby or like esports locker. Some of them were taken, some of them were not.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and we just thought of a bunch of things, and we landed on this. And it was something that I just came up with, just sitting here brainstorming for about an hour
In this
straight. I
very
was
chair, we're witnessing history. I like that. Okay. Okay. And so
yeah, but
how's the transition been so far?
so far, honestly, we've posted one video since the change, and you can check it out. It's a Made in Esports video. But we are sort of holding on, sort of next week, to do more promotion about it, some
Mm.
more advertising about it. Sorry, not promotion, advertising. Post about it,
Yeah.
let people
Yeah. Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, because I mean,
Uh,
uh, you gotta let the people know. But it's cool because like we're recording this live on YouTube where Made in Esports lives, where
yeah.
under the banner of Made in Esports. So I feel like talking about it here. It's like yeah, people know. People know they can look down and be like, wait a second, what's Made in Esports? It's got that same two cool dudes doing their podcast, but it's called something different. What's going on?
Well, for those of you who are watching on Bolt Plus or Game Plus or
Mm-hmm.
anywhere else, Spotify, yeah, check out our new channel on YouTube.
This is the yeah, this is the development that happened there for the people who are on Bold Plus or Game Plus. Uh, they might not even know about organized gaming. They might have just come across
True.
Best of Three, and they're like, "Oh, okay, cool, Best of Three. That's a podcast." Yeah. For those of you who don't know, oh, I'm gonna have to change what I say at the very beginning, aren't I? Because I always say this is Best of Three, an esports podcast by Organized Gaming. That's not necessarily the case anymore? Question mark.
It's still the case. I mean, we're still
Mm,
organized gaming, but the channel itself is just called something else. So
got it.
we're starting there, and I think eventually we may look to sort of rebrand organized gaming as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
But we're sort of just stepping into it right now,
Right,
starting with the channel. Yeah.
right. Before Made in Esports eats Best of Three or anything like that. Just to yeah, best to do that. Cool. All right, so I think with that, let's take a little bit of a break. We spent a good amount of time talking about, um, you know, Made in Esports and the CK Gaming Academy. I think now is a good time, or after the break is a good time to discuss some of the other games that are in relevance right now, in the news right now. We're going to talk about the Overwatch League. We're going to talk about Smash. Then I'm going to give you some tips on streaming. Some just what's the word? No frills,
Unbiased? Oh,
unbiased.
no.
Yeah, no
Okay,
frills on
no frills.
the tips and tricks. That's what it's going to be. Just no frilled tips and tricks. There we go. All right, we'll keep this conversation going when we come back from the break in just a second. Okay, cool. I'm gonna take a sip from my
Man,
coffee.
I really wish I brought my water.
Go get it. I'll keep them entertained.
Yeah, are you gonna do a dance for the
I'm gonna
audience
do a
there?
song and dance. Now I'm gonna show everybody my the fact that I can
All right,
colorize my background.
I will be right back.
Yeah. Now, ladies and gentlemen, one thing that oh yeah, it's very hard to see. This is like the corner down here that I usually try and hide. I have an LED light strip that I want to put around this corner here, but it's so tough to frame everything properly because if I ever move my camera, I'm gonna have to like keep the lights just above a certain height. I'm also trying to. Oh, here's Alex. I can actually ask him. Hey, Alex.
Yeah.
Um, have you've been consuming TikTok content, correct?
Here and there.
Here and there,
Getting more so lately, just trying to get back into it.
right?
Yeah.
Um, have you seen those like light strips that more and
Oh
more
yeah.
people seem to have? Do you
Yeah,
know
yeah,
what they
definitely.
are?
Um, I just want to know we're talking about the same thing, but they're LED strips with like a sticky backing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I guess so. Okay, because I'm looking at that right now. I'm like, okay, I want to get some.
Yeah, they're cool. I actually I
Okay,
got some for Waves.
like I
So
have
we
the Philips ones, but like I don't want to
Oh,
buy more because it's
they're really
expensive.
expensive. They're really expensive.
Like I was nice enough to get one as a gift for Christmas, but I'm not. It's not what I don't want to get
Yeah.
more.
But they work great actually.
That's great.
They the only thing is whatever you stick it to, like, it's gonna probably peel some paint or something like that.
Mm,
It is sticky on one side, so um but yeah, and you can sort of string them together,
okay.
depending on which one you get, and you can connect them together and stuff like that. But yeah, I think definitely definitely worth it. Some of the Amazon ones are what, like $40?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So like
So
relatively inexpensive.
you can cover a decent amount. So the front sort of retail section at Waves, with one strip, I was able to do one full go around of the glass display.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so I was able to do the whole edge at the top there with one of them.
Hmm.
I think it's
Cool.
pretty decent.
Cool.
I
Cool.
would do
Cool.
it. Go for it.
I think I will, because I think that's the only thing that I'm like really missing from my background now. Like I've set up my little shrine to what I do behind me, but it's just like white wall everywhere else. So it's like, okay, come on. I have a
I
little
want
bit
more
of the purple
space.
going on here, but even my camera is like showing the corner and the carpet and all that. It's like, stop, get that out of there.
I saw this really cool light where it's sort of shaped like the corner. So you have like two, and then it also goes up, right?
Oh,
Right. And it has a light that sort of beams from behind and into the corner of the wall,
oh, a
and it's
corner
colored.
LED light. Oh, it's like
Yeah.
a stick.
Yeah, it's like a stick.
Yes, I see it.
So that's kind of cool too. I always sort of wanted to see how well those work, but those look really cool in my opinion.
I love that. That's super cool. I don't think I'll be able to make that work anymore because I've drilled this into the wall.
Oh,
Like I don't
nice,
have another
nice,
corner,
nice.
but oh, maybe I have a corner over there. Anyway, whatever. Cool. Let's get
Drill it
back
into the
to
roof.
let's
Yeah,
get back to the podcast.
let's do it.
Okay, here we go. And we're back. Welcome back to Best of Three. Ladies and gentlemen, before the break, we talked about speaking a little bit more about Overwatch League. We mentioned it last week. And to be honest, we were not very favorable. We are not very fair to Overwatch and its organization. Uh, Sorry to say, I think that's going to continue into this week.
I want to root for them.
Yeah.
I really, I want to root for them. I want the Overwatch League to do well and to be a shining example of how esports leagues should be, and it's just not.
Yeah. So we're at the point right now where, we, in doing research for talking about the Overwatch League, the first thing you type in Google and search under news at the moment, you get a result saying we can no longer pretend that the Overwatch League is doing okay. So, uh,
It's a statement, but one that is probably felt by a lot of
yeah.
people out there, you know.
So, Alex, tell me a little bit about what the most recent thing is going on with Overwatch.
Oh, yeah. So Overwatch League, in 2019, they partnered with a company called Fanatics
Mm-hmm.
to be the storefront and deliver sort of all of the merchandise league-wide for the Overwatch League and Call of Duty League.
Hmm.
So actually, I believe they also partnered. They're partnered for Hearthstone and a bunch of other Blizzard titles as well. But the ones that I focus on, Overwatch League and Call of Duty League. So it was a supposed to be a multi-year partnership.
Mm-hmm.
I think just over maybe a year into it now, they've ended it.
Wow. And so
Yeah.
now OWL and I believe also CDL, they
Yes.
will be independently selling their own merchandise.
Creating their own
Yeah.
merch. So the problem with Fanatics, man, super super inconsistent. Like you don't
Mm,
know the rare person might, oh, like we get our stuff on time, like the quality is good or whatever, and then you order a different shirt and it's like a sticker instead of like something being embroidered on or something,
right.
and it's just the quality is so hit or miss, and you just don't know what you're gonna get.
Oh
So
wow. So how
um
was it terminated on Blizzard side?
mutually agreed on.
Really?
Yes, that's what they said. Who knows what
Oh, it's not
really
you,
happened.
it's me, it's not me, it's you. Never mind. We both are breaking up. Got it.
I'm going to guess that, maybe the merch sales weren't doing as well
Mm-hmm.
as they wanted it to. Um, and maybe Fanatics was like, hey, like, what's with that? And maybe Blizzard was like, hey, what's with the quality? So,
Is this not working out? This might not be working out. I mean, but
um,
now
yeah.
they're like over what 20 or maybe exactly 20 into like different league teams that are in need of branded merchandise.
Oh,
So
yeah.
now would be a good time. By the way, if there are any designers out there who are looking to get in the esports apparel business, go and reach out to your local Overwatch league because they might need some people.
CDL.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at the stuff that was coming out before that deal, though, even I was wearing some of the stuff. I wear it sometimes on stream and stuff.
Yeah.
You can see it. It's the Peace Collective and Toronto Ultra collab. That was a great collab. There, you saw great sort of merch that was put out by like New York Excelsior
Yeah.
before this deal, and there was just like a lot of great stuff. I can't remember. There was another team that put out sort of a floral print bomber, and it was just really
Ooh.
dope. I
We
really
like our
like that.
floral prints today.
I do like my prints right now.
Okay.
Maybe just being inside, I want to bring some of the outdoors in. I don't know,
It's
but
true. New York Excelsior's merch is pretty solid though.
oh yeah.
I'm looking
And
at their stuff right now. Ooh, that's spicy.
going back to what we were talking
Uh-huh.
about sort of the drop shipped or the um on demand stuff that we like, that's the type of partnership I want to say that they had. And if each team were able to really put their DNA, their team DNA, and just their own unique personalities on to their team merch,
Mm-hmm.
I think it could do so much better. You'd see an overall boost in merch sales, league wide, I would say.
I'd agree with that. You're definitely going to see a lot more leagues kind of lean into themselves a little bit more. Um, a lot of people in the leagues are, big online personalities. A lot of people are very vocal on Twitter. And so a lot of people will have their own kind of memes about them uh,
Right.
that'll just, do so much better on merch when they're able to, have a much like lower touch and not just
Right.
like outsourcing the entire thing to somebody else. Because that's essentially what this is Fanatics gave the Overwatch League like the chance to drop ship, but with drop shipping comes a whole bunch of other issues. Uh,
All the problems that they saw.
yeah.
Yeah. So like I really think the essence,
Mm-hmm.
one of the true lifestyle components of esports is the merch. And I think the merch has to be on point. And I think there's a lot of like push and pull with like corporate sort of style merch and stuff that's more unique and
Yeah.
authentic. And like we've seen a lot of that, and I think the sort of authentic stuff is gonna make a comeback, and it's gonna show sort of the corporate side that like this kind of merch doesn't work. You can't do this.
Yeah.
You need to be authentic to our
You
fans
need to
and
have
our.
that human touch.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. It's something that I'm trying to come to terms with too. Is like I need to be in charge of my own merch. Like people will buy stuff that has something to do with me if they're following me for any reason. Um, or there's a higher chance of people doing that if it has something to do with me. If they feel like a genuine personal connection to the thing that they're about to buy, then higher chance that sale is going to go through.
I mean,
Um,
look at other professional sports, right? NBA, like there's
yeah.
no way the NBA produces the merch for all of the teams and stuff. It would be horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Each team has their own identity and they can speak to their fans and create that personal touch that their
Yeah.
fans will love.
Well, I mean the big difference between the traditional sports is they have like a full like design team behind that. Like they don't have
Yes, I'm
to.
sure.
They have
Yes,
people
I'm
who are
sure.
focused on the brand identity already. They don't have to. But with esports, so many leagues being so grassroots, like it goes back again. Like wow, we've talked about everything already. It goes back to wearing a lot of hats in that startup. You are also in charge of your team's brand identity. You are also in charge of helping your designers if you are outsourcing designs, getting them to understand what it is that your fans would enjoy.
And one thing that I do love too is sort of actually speaking to your fans. You could run sort of polls or contests or engage with your fans to
Yeah.
try to help create your merch as well, your apparel. These are all great things that you can't really do if you have one sort of manufacturer league wide. So
Right. Right.
yeah.
So I mean, it's good things for Overwatch. Change is a little scary sometimes, and I think that this means that a lot of leagues have the opportunity to drop the ball.
Yes, this is
Yeah,
an opportunity scenario.
yeah,
It's not going to be better for everybody right away, but every team has the opportunity to do better than it was.
exactly, exactly.
Yes.
And I think this will either make or break a lot of teams, and I'm not super sure if this is the right time for teams to be in a make or break kind of situation, just with the state that the Overwatch League is in. But again, opportunity for so much to just come catapulting right back up. So,
Well, the teams that do it right, they're going to make more money
oh yeah,
out of this. And
absolutely,
it's going to help them to sustain the massive costs about how like of having an Overwatch League team,
yeah,
right? Yeah, and that's a business is a business. There's a reason why the New York Knicks are terrible, but still one of the, most popular teams in the league.
exactly.
And
Based out
if
of New
you
York, any merch that you make, your people will rep you.
there you go, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's but if you don't give them that opportunity, then really the best teams are just going to be the most competitive teams, and you're not giving the teams that opportunity
True
to
say.
build, more of a rapport with their fans and do more than just win and compete.
Right. All right. I wanted to. I mentioned this last week that I wanted to talk about Smash because right now there are some rumors going around that I wanted to dive into, but essentially, um, the online experience for Smash is trash. We know that it's not very good. Uh, Smash is a wonderful game to play with people in a party setting. Alex and I play Smash every single time we see each other. Every single time there's a TV and a Switch, we're just like, all right, fire up Smash, let's go. Uh, but the online server system is ancient. It is at this point 18 years old. Runs off of something that was originally called Rendezvous, which was acquired by Ubisoft about more than a decade ago. Nintendo uses it. It provides some weird like checks as you're going into the online experience, one of which being that it is or is not running on Windows 98. So
Oh,
it's a little dated to say the least.
it's older than probably a lot of people who play
Yes.
Smash.
Yes, absolutely. It's
That's
much
the
older than its
Windows
player base.
98 check. Like, so the system checks if you're running on Windows 98.
Yeah. Yes, it
Okay.
does. Yes, it does.
Okay.
It's one of those things where it's like it's trying to find out if you're running on PC or not. Um,
Okay.
because Ubisoft was like doing a lot of cross play and all that kind of stuff, but like they didn't remove it
Jeez.
for the Smash code. So anyway, they're possibly due to the response of the hashtag Fix Ultimate Online movement that happened a little while
Mhm.
ago. Uh, and also due to COVID-19, they're looking to again improve the online experience that a lot of people are just currently dropping off of Smash for because you know there's no way for them to play locally with their friends, so they're just gonna
So
leave.
I read an article a while back that said, Nintendo actually considered rollback netcode
Correct.
for Smash, and they passed on it.
They
They were like, "This is
did.
not for us."
They
So
did.
is this something different or like,
It
yeah?
is. Nintendo is famous for making their own stuff. Um, bringing in netcode wouldn't work with a lot of their hardware. And in
Mm,
testing, it kind of bogged down the system a lot more than it helped. So what they're doing is they're creating this new server system called NPLN, and they're testing it with Monster Hunter Rise. So with the Monster Hunter Rise demo that was recently available, that was them actually giving that a secret test. They're like,
Ooh,
"Ooh, hey, try
sneaky.
this out," because Monster Hunter, you go and play with your friends and go and hunt monsters and stuff. So you've got to have a connection that is like in real time, with you, because you're going on like raids and stuff like WoW
Yeah, yeah.
style. So if they implement that for like a fast paced game like Smash, um, I guess that's the next step is testing that out. It may be better, it may be not, but at
Does
least things
doesn't
are
it
happening.
have to be better?
It
There's
I
no
would
way
hope so.
there's no way it's worse.
Imagine creating a worse technology than something that was made 20 years ago.
Oh man, and just not even made well. I don't know. I guess I don't know how good it was back then, but it seems to me that
I don't know if it was good or not, but it was definitely all that we had. I remember when the Wii first came out, and when I guess Brawl was was there with it. My first experience going online, it was the laggiest thing that I ever did. Even by like early 2000s standards, it's like internet shouldn't be like this. Now, granted, we're Canadian and everything like takes a little longer for us,
definitely.
but oh man, it was just not a good experience at all. I mean, once less people started playing it, and like the
Oh, so
servers,
server load
yeah,
definitely
servers
played
were
into
less
it.
overloaded, then it made for a better experience, but it wasn't good.
Okay, so we have a glimmer of hope
Tiny glimmer of
for
hope.
Smash.
Yeah.
I The tough part is every time you have hope with Nintendo, they sort of tend to dash it,
Mm-hmm.
so it's hard to believe.
Well, and they also don't they crack down really hard on things that are not their own proprietary software or things that they've outsourced. Like there are ways to spoof a an online like presence, or like an online like LAN server. So you can make the internet think that you are connected via LAN to somebody who is not actually connected via LAN. Um, but it like Nintendo, every time they find out about things like that, they shut that down like super quick. Mm.
I mean, everyone's just trying to make it better, man. Like
Right?
Nintendo, like
Open source
step
your
up.
stuff.
Yeah, just come on.
You're gonna make it better. Trust me. Trust me. Listen to me. I know.
There's a reason I hate Sony because everything that they make is proprietary. They had their own weird memory sticks, they had their own
Yeah.
plugs. Yeah, same
Mm-hmm.
with Apple.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry,
Mm-hmm.
Apple, I'm not a fan.
No, it's true. Um, before last thing, I
All
wanted
right.
to uh follow up on last week's no frilled streamer tips.
Yeah.
I
So back with some more tips and
Yeah,
tricks.
yeah. So the way that I prefaced this last week was that I strongly dislike all of the people on TikTok or YouTube who are like, streamer tip, do this majorly big thing to change up your stream. Some people, they're like, do this tiny little thing to change up your stream. And I'm like, okay, well, on both sides of the spectrum there you can go too hard, or you can not go hard enough, and both of those will actually be really bad for your stream and really detrimental to your own mental health going into trying to stream. So I wanted to bring up something that will hopefully temper some expectations while also pushing people to try and do a little bit more for their stream. And this mainly goes out to the people who are, just starting out, the people who are interested in streaming but want to, make it look good at the same time. And if that's you, then I want you to listen up to this. When you start your streaming, I have two friends who have gotten really into like Valkyrie in a big way, and they wanted to be just like her, and they're like, I wanna start streaming. I'm gonna start streaming. So every time they play a game, which is every single day, Every time
All
they
right.
play a game now, they go live with it. They're like their fiancés, so they sit beside each other and they do their thing, and it's cool, it's cute. Um, but my buddy, and he's fine
Do they
with me
stream
saying
to
this.
one stream?
No, 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 no. They both
Oh, that would be
separately stream.
interesting.
Yeah,
That
I
would
know,
be
right?
interesting. I'd
Sometimes I
watch
think
that.
they do it together. But anyway, my buddy he uses his phone as a webcam because he doesn't have a webcam to stream off of, and that's
Okay.
okay. You're starting out. You don't really want to invest too much money, I guess. But it's this setup where he puts it down underneath his monitor. It's staring up at him, and you get like a
Mm.
full view inside the nostrils.
Oh man.
Mm.
Welcome to the jungle.
Welcome to the jungle. Very good. Very good. If you are going to do something like that, that is totally fine. You do not have to invest in a Logitech C920. You don't have to invest in an HD camera with a cam link or any an ATEM Mini or anything like that that'll actually go into your computer and reroute webcams and whatnot. You don't need to. You can if you want to, and it will increase the quality of your webcam. But if you want to use your phone, that's fine. Just make sure you have a stand for it. Do something that doesn't make it look like you are setting your phone on the table and just having it point at you. Look like you put a little bit more effort into it because you are trying to put effort into what you're doing. People will recognize effort and you'll be able to speak to it.
Phone cameras have great quality
They
these
do.
days, so it might not even be noticeable.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
honestly, I don't notice the quality difference
Mm.
that often. Like obviously I do because I use this, but like compared to other streamers, I like his quality a lot. It's just the location that it's at that it really irks me. Like just even if
Okay,
he
so
duct taped it to like the top of his monitor, like that's all I care about. You can like really get scrappy with it if you really want to. The second thing would be definitely your microphone. Your
okay.
microphone is so important. Audio quality that's the one thing that people are listening to. People are listening to
Audio
your
quality
voice.
is more important than video quality?
I would say yes, because
Mm.
people can look away. People can bring up other, things that they're doing and have you on in the background. I do that all the time. Like I mentioned earlier in the podcast, every single morning I am listening to something, either a podcast or a video or like a coaching session or something, a stream. I just have it going on in the background. I work for a living. I'm doing my work while I'm doing that. So I'm rarely looking over. So for the people who do watch you, then you obviously want to make a nice viewing experience for them. But um, even those people who are watching are also listening to what you're trying to say. And if that sounds like hot garbage, then they're not going to stay. Now, the tricky part is that there are a lot of microphones out there. There's a lot of variety. There are a lot of choices, and a lot of it comes down to preference. Some of it comes down to your actual voice and what you want it to pick up. For me, I went the try hard route and went for a big old Shure mic. But for people who are just starting out, Rode, Audio Technica, they make some good products. They make, there you go, Alex. They make some good products for a variety of different prices.
I have the Rode Pod mic here, so
There you go. So
if
that's what that
you
sounds
like how
like.
this sounds, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, also important to note that there are audio filters that you can put on to cancel out noise or to, um, up the gain digitally. But a better mic that creates better raw sound is always going to trump any kind of filter that you put on any of your
Would
crappy mics.
you So let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
What is the minimum you would spend on a microphone? Just
Minimum.
minimum you would spend on a microphone.
Ooh, interesting. I don't think I would go underneath $80.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a solid
However,
answer.
however, however, if
Canadian.
you're, well, yeah, I guess so. If you are like a console streamer or anything like that, and you want to have that kind of like over the console sound to what you do, then maybe a headset is good enough for you, right? Like, and again, the mic differential, it changes from person to person. Some people would be fine with like a $50 headset mic, or like a $30 like cheap Logitech guy. Um, I wouldn't use a webcam for that. Don't use things that are not intended to be microphones,
As
because ooh,
microphones.
it's gross. Ooh, it's gross.
That's a good tip. That's a good tip, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there are ways to, if you want to spend money on your stream, there are ways to spend money on your stream, but
No frills.
you want to be doing things that can, bring you value, right? You want to not be wasting money on what you do. A lot of people, they're like, oh, I can go and grab myself a stream deck and my entire stream will change, and then it just doesn't.
Well, because a Stream Deck is a lot of
It's
work.
so much effort. If you put in
It's a
that
lot.
effort, it will 100% work out for you. Um, but yeah, you got to be willing to put in that effort if you're willing to put in that kind of money.
All right, so we're talking camera, we're talking audio. Is there anything else that you need bare minimum to get started?
Well, I mean, there's the whole idea of capture cards, and there's your, your
Depends on what
computer
you're playing.
itself, if you're actually, streaming off of your computer and not just going from console to Twitch. Um, but I mean, no, really, if you have the uh, base setup ready just to play a game, you should be fine to start with just a microphone and a camera. If your room is not lit enough, go and get yourself some, you know, colored lights or whatever. You can pick up a bunch from Amazon, I'm sure, for, pennies on the dollar. Go get yourself a couple LED light strips. I don't know. Maybe put a lamp in front of your face so you get some white light there. As you progress in your streaming experience, you will probably find things about your stream that you can change here and there. But as just kind of a baseline amount of tech for starting, camera and microphone. That's all you got to do.
Yeah, I really like that you highlighted that audio was more important. It's interesting because I actually watch a lot of, like, I have a lot of streams on the background, but they're muted.
Right.
So it's actually the reverse with me, but
Interesting.
yeah, yeah.
Interesting. Do you find that you get like distracted a lot though with those?
No, I have it on my second monitor and I just use it to sort of see what's happening in a tournament or in a
I see.
stream or
I see.
whatever. Like, these guys are playing, what's the updated score, yada yada. But like, I don't, if I listen to it, I can't work. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. And I mean,
Um,
that's interesting. I would say that for that kind of a situation, if you are playing a game, you obviously want to have the highest possible video settings that you can anyway. So if people are pulling an Alex and just glancing over at your stream every now and then while it's muted, then they're looking at something good, not necessarily always looking at your face. But that's why you want to have at least a good angle so that when people look over at your stream while it's on mute, that they're not seeing some like garbled, pixely mess looking up your nose, right? Then you're at least seeing them at the right angle.
the other thing too is most of the time the gameplay is probably going to take up most of the screen space
Yes.
anyways.
Yes.
So, shrink that camera size down, the lower quality maybe if you're using something not a great camera or something, it's not that noticeable,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
audio, it's where it's at.
Audio, absolutely. Welcome to the podcast. All right, folks. Well, that is going to be the end of Best of Three for this week. I want to thank you for joining us and coming along with us for this this new way that we're trying out our podcast. I personally, I've been really enjoying it, and so
Oh yeah.
this is pretty cool. Pretty soon we're going to be speaking with another guest. I guess are we not talking about it, or should we just
Next one we will be speaking with Purple Mage.
Purple Mage? There you go. All right, so look out for that, folks. Alex, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Crispy Kim with a K.
There you go. And you can find me at Still Just Mike with an S. You can find Best of Three anywhere you find your podcasts. A Best of Three, Best of Three, Best of Three podcast. Uh, Definitely do that. Thank you to Bolt Plus and Game Plus for hosting us on their network. Thank you to Made in Esports for hosting us on their YouTube channel. I want to thank you all for listening, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye, everybody. Alex, was there anything else you wanted to say at the end there?
Nope.
Cool. All right.
I was going to say something, but I didn't end up doing
Well,
it.
you can say it to YouTube right now before I hit end stream.
Well, you just said Mike with an S, so I was going to call you Smike.
Smike. Still just Mike
No,
with a K.
Second, you said my name is still just Mike, and I was like, Mike doesn't start with an S.